welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today I'm doing the Booktube anniversary tag. That's right, it's my Booktube anniversary again. I can't believe it's been a whole year since I've done this video. I've done it several times before, and there are a lot of variations on this tag. I don't know who originally created this tag, and I think that the one that I'm doing is actually a combination of several different tags. So I'm not really sure who to credit for this. So I'm just doing the same tag that I've done every single year on my channel, and we're going with it. So the first question is, how many years on Booktube are you celebrating? 3. I started my channel at the end of January in 2021, and it has been a wild and wonderful ride. The second question is, how have you changed from your first video to now? And I have said multiple times every year that I feel like I've gotten more comfortable in front of the camera, and that's still true, but I wanted to say something different this year, and something that I think has changed for myself is that I have become more confident in knowing what I like in books and just being okay with not reading books that are super hyped. When I first started watching Booktube and then started my Booktube channel, I was like, oh, everyone is reading this book over here. Everyone is really interested in this, or everyone loves this. And I kept reading books that I just really wasn't enjoying. And I've realized, you know what? It is okay for me to love reading classics. It is okay for me to love reading backlisted books. It is okay for me to not be reading the latest, greatest, most popular books all the time, or when I do, to kind of feel ambivalent about quite a few of them. There are good ones out there. There are exceptions, of course. And I'm okay with that now more than I used to be. It used to really bother me, and I used to feel like I should love this book because everyone loves this book. And now I'm just like, it's okay to like what you like and not like what you don't like. And I've just been more aware of what makes a book something that I enjoy and what I really don't like. And so that's actually saved me some time, and I think it's made it so overall I'm picking up a lot more books that I enjoy. Question number 3 is a 2-parter. The first part is, what are 3 of your favorite videos you've made in the past year and why? So I have a couple here. One is really recent, and that is my 1-star review video that I just did like a week or 2 ago. That was me reading 1-star reviews of some of my favorite books of the year last year, and let me tell you, that was so fun. I laughed so much and had so much fun looking at some of the extremely petty reviews. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out because it's a hoot. I did a lot of vlogging this past year, more than I've ever done, and found that I really enjoy vlogging and have so much fun with it, even though it is more work to edit. But one of my favorite vlogs that I did this past year is I did a weekend reading vlog that was a Battle of the Books vlog. It was one of my first videos of the year last year. And I did a video where I was reading a Nancy Drew book and a Trixie Belden book and comparing the two, because so many people had told me, oh, if you grew up loving Nancy Drew, Trixie Belden's even better. And I had never read Trixie Belden, but I had bought some for my daughter at a thrift store. And it was just so much fun. They were both cheesy and had issues in their own way, but it was really fun to read them and compare them. And I read them with my friend Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads, and that made it even more fun because we just kept sending each other Voxers about it, and it was really fun. Another video that I just really enjoyed making was the Blindfold Book Challenge, which I did with my husband and my daughter with middle grade books. So my daughter and I were both blindfolded, and my husband was trying to describe these book covers to us, and we had to guess what the book was that he was describing to us. And anytime I do a video with the two of them, it's always funny and such a blast. And I did another video for my Patreon where they had to judge the book by its cover. So I'd show them the cover and they had to guess what the book was about based on the cover. And that was super fun too. So anytime I can do videos with them, there's just so much laughter and we have a blast. The second part of this question is, what video are you the most proud of and why? And I have to say, when I did my video tier ranking all of the Nintendo Switch games that I played in 2023, I was very proud of that video. I was like, I don't know if any of my subscribers are actually going to watch this because I normally don't have a whole lot of video game content like I usually do when I do my quarterly favorites. I'll talk about what I've been playing, but I've never just done a whole video exclusively dedicated to video games, but I really wanted to because I thought it would be so fun to look back and do that. And I'm really glad that I did, but man, I have never had such an extensively edited video before. I included clips of every video game that I talked about, like of the gameplay and stuff, and that took such a long time, not to mention like clips of me actually making the tier list, like the screen recording of that. And it was a lot, but it was so much fun and I was really happy with how it turned out. Question number 4 is, what is your most popular video? So my most popular video of all time on my channel is actually the same as last year, and that is my what to expect when you read War and Peace video. And that has close to 3,000 views at this point. So I love that there are so many people who continue to watch it. It continues to get hits pretty much every day of people who are probably intimidated by War and Peace and want to know what they should expect going into it. And they were things that I wish I had known, and things about, you know, different translations and try to choose which one and all that kind of stuff. But that video I did not make within the last year. It was the year before that. So I figured instead I would also mention some videos that I made in the past year that have gotten the most views. None of them have really blown up the way that one did. So my 2024 Classics TBR has about 1,000 views on it. So that's one that is pretty popular. I also have some thrift hauls that are higher up there, but then I have 2 videos that have about 900 views each. One of them is 10 short Victorian classics that I recommended, a video I did for Victober. And the reason why I think it's so funny is another video that has the exact same number of views at the time of filming this video is when I did the big book challenge tag or whatever, where I talked about like the biggest books I'd ever read and stuff. And I think it's really funny that 2 of the most popular videos that I made within this past year, one was about short classics and one was about long classics. Question number 5 is another 2-parter. So the first part is, what have you struggled with on Booktube in the past year and how did you overcome that struggle? So I think my biggest struggle in the past year with Booktube has been time. Time to edit, time to film, and also time to read. I'm not reading as much as I was as when I first started this channel. I have other activities, I have other interests, other things that are going on, and I'm always doing things. It seems like every single day. And so I definitely don't have as much time. A difficult thing for that with me is comparison to other people who are reading 20 books a month and I read 6 or 8 or something like that, and feeling like, oh my gosh, they read so much and I don't. And so it can be hard to not have those feelings sometimes. I've just gotten past it to just be like, reading's not a competition. Reading is not anything except fun. I am reading as a hobby, so I should just enjoy reading. The numbers don't matter, and the numbers never mattered to me before I had a Booktube channel. And so that's something that I've just had to be gracious with myself about and just like let go of that, because it really doesn't matter. Like, no one's coming to me being like, why aren't you reading 20 books a month or something like that? Like, no one else cares. So why do I feel like I'm less of a booktuber if I read less books? That's just dumb. And I've also gotten okay with the point that there have been weeks this past year where I have not put out 2 videos a week. Sometimes there's been a couple weeks where I haven't put out a single video because I've been sick, or I had surgery this past year and so did my husband. And so there was a lot that was going on. And so I'm just like, you know what? It's okay if it's like 2 or 3 days until I respond to YouTube comments. It's okay if I just don't have the time to do the things that I used to be able to do immediately. So I think it's just a learning process. And I talked about this in my goals video for 2024, of just being flexible and not like holding all the plans loosely and balancing and trying to figure out like what's really important. The other part of this question is, what is the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? Again, time for editing can be a thing, but also like I'm not always the most creative person. So sometimes my inspirational juices run dry. I'm really good at taking other people's ideas and running with them, but coming up with my own original ideas are It's definitely more difficult for me sometimes. Question number 6 is, have you ever had to deal with negative feedback or comments, and how did you handle it? So I have only ever gotten 2 really mean comments on my channel, and they were both in my first year of Booktube, which is really funny to me because I had not hit even 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if I even hit 500 subscribers within my first year. So it was really funny. I had a couple hundred subscribers and had 2 very negative comments and haven't had any since. I just feel very lucky to be a part of this corner of the internet that is overwhelmingly positive and drama-free and loves to talk about books. And it's okay if we don't all like the same book. We can just say, oh, I didn't like that book that you loved, or, oh, you didn't like that book? I loved it. Oh, that's interesting to hear your thoughts, and not make it this like life or death, like you suck, you just didn't get it because you're not smart enough. Like, I'm really thankful that I'm in this corner of the internet. So question number 7 is to shout out a huge supporter of your channel. And I'm actually going to shout out 2, one of whom has a Booktube channel and the other one doesn't. So the one who has a Booktube channel is my dear friend Dia from Novel Idea, who you probably hear me talk about in almost every video. We read together all the time and have become really, really dear friends. But she has been subscribed to me from day one and is usually one of the first people to watch and comment on my videos and has been so encouraging to me. She has sent me books, she has sent my daughter books, and she's just become such a dear friend and someone that I talk to all the time. And I'm just so thankful for her encouragement on this channel and in my real life. And then I also want to shout out a subscriber friend, Victoria, who has been a subscriber for quite some time also. I don't know exactly how long, but I feel like pretty close to the beginning of my time here on Booktube. And she has been someone that has just continually supported me and commented on my videos. She's a fellow homeschool mom, and she has also so sweetly sent me books, and like, it's just such a hype woman. I love her so much. And we buddy read a book together at the beginning of 2023, and that ended up just kicking off a really strong friendship. And I now talk to Victoria all the time as well. And so I am just so thankful for both Dia and Victoria. And honestly, there are so many more people that I could shout out, because there are so many of you that are so supportive, that are always commenting and being so kind and generous and shouting me out on social media, whether that be YouTube or Instagram or whatever. And I appreciate every single one of you. Question number 8 is, what is the best book that you've read in the past year? So the funny thing about me having a Booktube anniversary at the end of January means that I have already shared my favorites of the entire last year with you just a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not gonna be too redundant here, I hope. I haven't yet read anything in January that unseats my favorites of the year last year, so I'm just gonna say really quick, Joy in Christ's Presence by Charles Spurgeon was my #1 book of the year last year. It is a Christian nonfiction book, and it's incredible and it's amazing. And if you haven't read it, you should read it. And then my favorite fictional book of last year was Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. Question number 9 is, where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? So I don't know. I don't really make numerical goals because I can't figure out the YouTube algorithm. Sometimes I'll have a video that gets like hundreds of views within a few hours, and then a video I think will do well doesn't even have hundreds of views after weeks worth of it being out there. And so I never know what's going to be something that actually ends up being a hit, and I never can predict whether or not I'm going to steadily increase in my subscribers, because sometimes I will, and then I'll sit at literally the same number of subscribers for a month. And so I just don't know. So I do not make numerical goals because I have absolutely no control over that, and I don't like making goals over things that I have no control over. So where I hope to see my channel in a year's time is, I hope that I'm still here and chatting with all of you about books and just enjoying this space. And that's really all I want to achieve in my channel. I have some other things I'd love to achieve that I talked about in my goals video for 2024, that I'd love to do some more collaboration videos with people, or collaboration lives, or playing games with people and those kinds of things. I do want to host some more Christian nonfiction read-alongs. I did 2 of them last year. I really want to do more of those. And I also am planning a couple of readathons that I'm really excited about. So those are some things that I hope to achieve. But again, these are not numerical goals. Question number 10 is, what is an unexpected surprise of being on YouTube? Honestly, I've probably said this every single year, but the biggest surprise is the amount of friendships that I have gained, like close friendships, people that I talk to every single day who I have actually never met in real life. And some of them I have, but most of my online friends I've not met in real life, but I talk to them all the time. And it's just been such a blessing and a gift in my life. And it's enriched my life in ways that I never expected. And another thing as well is that I thought when I started this channel, I knew I was a big classics fan. Because I had been watching Booktube for a while before I started my channel, I thought that I was an anomaly. I thought that everyone was reading the latest, greatest YA fantasy books, and that I'm over here reading classics. And so this is something that is a bit more unique to my channel. And I've realized that it's not really that unique. And it's wonderful that I have realized that, because it means that I've found my people, that there are other people out here who enjoy reading classics, who enjoy reading backlisted books, who still do enjoy new releases from time to time and still love fantasy, because I do. But I mean, I've found people who enjoy a lot of the same books as me. And that was the whole reason why I started this channel, is because I didn't have anyone to talk to about the books that I was reading. And I was wondering, like, will anyone even watch videos where I'm talking about classic literature? And you're here. And I just love that so much. Question number 11 is, what are your thoughts on equipment, and what is the most useful equipment you've purchased? I haven't really purchased that much equipment, to be fair. I still film on my phone. I have upgraded my phone multiple times since I've had my channel, so I'm sure that the quality of sound and video itself has improved, but I haven't really purchased anything. I even edit my videos on my phone with iMovie, so I use a free editing software. The only thing that I have purchased in terms of equipment is a tripod. And that, I would say, is really the only thing that I think that you potentially need. I mean, you could still stick your camera or your phone on top of a stack of books or something, but it is a lot more handy to use a tripod. And the tripod that I purchased, I think I spent 20 bucks or less on it. So it's not even a super expensive one, but that is the one thing that I think is super useful. And I'm really glad that I invested in that early on. The last question is, do you have any advice to give someone who is looking to start a Booktube channel? And I think the answer to that is to just do it, because I think you can kind of get in your brain and think that you need this or you need that, or you have to have all these things. You have to have bookshelves that look a certain way, or you have to have a special camera, or you need to have a microphone, or you need to have this, that, or the other thing. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need any of those things to start your channel. Just come on and be yourself and talk about books, and you will find your people. The people who are really interested in the same kind of books that you are, they will find your channel. And that's really the only advice, I guess, that I have. I think the only other advice maybe is to put the name of the books in your video in the description of your video, because then if people are searching in particular for that book, it will be easier for them to find your videos, and it will be easier for you to find your people on the interwebs. Well, that's all for this video. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me for 3 years now worth of videos. I think I have like over 300 videos. I have a lot of videos, and it has just been so wonderful to be on the Booktube community for this long. And so thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me. And I will see you again next time.